What's up, guys? It's Isaac from Broke Boys here. Today we got a banger story for y'all. But first, make sure to like and subscribe, because what the fuck, guys? What is the statistic? But anyway, let's get into the story. So one day I was talking to a girl and scrolling through Snapchat stories all at the same time, and I eventually came across a plugged Snapchat story. And this plug was selling all kinds of things, anything you can imagine: mushrooms, acid, carts, bud, anything. And then there was one thing in particular that caught my eye, and that was crack. What I did was I hit up the plug, of course, and I was like, "Can I get a 45 for half a gram?" And he was like, yeah, that's good. Like, it was real quick, easy interaction over Snap. And then I told the girl that I was talking to that I was getting it for a party, just so I can seem cool, so I can seem swag, I want to say 30 minutes later, maybe 45 minutes later, maybe, the plug pulls up. It was a quick interaction again. I go outside, it was real late at night. I go outside, hand him the $45. I'm not sure where I got the money from, but I had the money, and I gave it to him, and he handed me a little small dime bag of crack. So as soon as I went inside, I got ready to snort that shit. Like, I was excited to try this new experience. So I messaged the girl, I let her know that I got the crack, and that I'm gonna take a bump just to try it. So what I do is I pour all the crack out of the bag, crush it up with a card, simple as that, and I snort it up with a dollar bill. I think it was a $10 bill, and I snort all of it. And from the instant that I snorted it, it tasted like shit. Like, it tasted like chemicals, and it was not a good tasting thing at all. I want to say 30 seconds later, my teeth start to feel cold and like they're gonna fall out. My heart rate goes up a lot. So I'm feeling the effects almost instantly. I kind of just start walking around my room. I start playing music. I take a few videos. First thing I do, though, is I call up a few people. I call up my friends, and I kind of tell them what's happening. And let me tell you, I was talking at 100 miles an hour. Nobody could understand a word I was saying. It was insane. After I called up a few people and people were done talking to me because they couldn't understand a word I was saying, I started making these Snapchat videos about really deep shit, like about my suicide attempts, about my depression, about the abuse I've suffered through and all that. Like, I talked about deep shit. And it had gone on for hours. And all while I'm doing this, I feel like I'm having bugs crawl through my skin. So I'm looking in the mirror next to me, and I'm picking at my face, and I'm telling these stories. And then one of the side effects of doing crack was you develop, or at least in this dose, you develop a lot of spit. So I just kept spitting and spitting and spitting, and I could not stop. Like, my mouth, it felt dry, but at the same time it was developing a lot of saliva, so I had to keep spitting, and it was such a strange feeling. Later that evening, the girl that I had told that I was going to go to a party with the crack, she pulls up to make sure I'm okay, because she was one of the people I had FaceTimed. And she pulls up with pancakes to make sure I eat something, and then she gives me a hug, and I'm literally shaking. Like, I cannot stop moving. And then after that interaction, I go back to telling my deep and depressing stories on Snapchat. After that, my mom walks in late at night. I want to say it's 4 a.m, and she tells me to give her the phone. So I give her the phone willingly, and she goes back to her room. And then I realized that all the videos that I had made of me doing the crack, of me talking about it, of me talking about all these deep and depressing things, all of them were out in the open, not hidden at all. So what I had to do was, I had to go to my mom's room, try and act sober, and I went, "Hey Mom, look, I'm feeling really anxious right now, and I was making video diaries on Snapchat, and I was wondering if I can get my phone back so I can continue making these video diaries, because it makes me feel a lot better." And then she does not allow that, because I don't think she believes it for a second. So I go back to my room kind of freaking out that she might catch me, and 30 minutes later, I want to say, she comes into my room, and she tells me, "I saw what the videos were, blah blah blah. I see your eyes," because at that point in time my eyes were huge. So yeah, she catches me, and then she leaves for work without saying a word to me. So first thing I do is I give her a call on my home phone, and she is pissed. And I'm like, "Look Mom, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do this. I can't believe I did crack, and I'm talking to you while I'm on crack, blah blah blah." Like, it was an interesting interaction. And then without saying a word, she just hangs up on me after I'm freaking out. So I then call a couple of friends on the home phone, And one of them, my ex-girlfriend, she answers, and I'm telling her what's happening, all while spitting in a cup repeatedly, just like nonstop. Then all of a sudden, I see these red and blue flashing lights coming from my window, and then I hear pounding on the door. I was like, oh fuck, I'm so screwed. So I tell the girl that I was talking to on the phone, stay on call, and if I get arrested, let everyone know what happened. So I go answer the door, and I am doing a hell of a job acting sober, like the best job. The cops asked me a few questions, and then the ambulance came to check my vitals to see if I was on crack. I came with the best excuse on the spot, and it was, yeah, my heart rate's a little elevated right now just because I'm really anxious because of what's going on. And they're like, yeah, that's understandable. That's fair. They take me to the hospital and they draw my blood. They have me do a blood test and all that stuff. But at that point in time, I had already come down from the high. My mom is there at the hospital. I'm getting all my vitals taken and my blood drawn and all that stuff, and everything comes out negative. So I was home free. And that is the story of the first time I did coke.